I've created over 24 rugs for my furniture collection, but today's episode is a little bit different. I've designed 3 custom-made, one-of-a-kind wool rugs to help raise awareness for sustainable textiles. And let's just say His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, is involved too.
Only wool provides the ultimate reassurance of sustainability.
Coming up in this special episode of Design Life,
We had everybody vote.
we have close polling results,
Stay tuned, I'm going to show you that later on.
a very important guest,
Check it out.
and a runaway sheep.
As you know, no 2 of our Design Life adventures are ever the same. The heat is on. Photographer arrives at 9 tomorrow. And today's adventure is definitely a little bit out of the ordinary. That's because we have an unusual client today. Today, I am setting up for a photo shoot tomorrow for the campaign for wool. Everything that's coming in here needs to be wool, if it can be wool. A table can't be wool, but wait till you see I have a surprise for you. And instead of going to a studio, we are using our home. We are using Starlight Farm as the backdrop for this photo shoot. Are you wondering why we're pulling our house apart?
You know, I've learned to never wonder why we pull our house apart because it just gets pulled apart all the time. So, this is par for the course.
Okay, I should rewind a bit and give you a little more background. Let's talk about this project. You're probably thinking, Sarah, why are you leaning on a box? Oh, wait, I can't tell you about the box yet. That's a surprise. Let me start again. This is definitely unlike anything I've ever done. The client in this case is the Campaign for Wool. And the Campaign for Wool is a global endeavor, and the patron is His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales. The Prince of Wales is passionate about wool as an important natural material.
Natural materials which are not made from fossil fuels and which biodegrade naturally have an important part to play as we face up to the enormous challenges of climate change.
It's renewable, it's biodegradable. It's biodegradable both in the soil because it adds nutrients back into the soil, but it's also biodegradable in the oceans. And I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but if you wash something that's made of wool that is also combined with an unnatural material like polyester, the microparticles go into the water, which creates pollution. However, if you use 100% wool, that's not an issue. So we just have to tip it back to get the rug out. I got the sofa if you want the rug. Quickly though. Thanks. Heavy. Why am I telling you all this? Well, because I was asked by the Campaign for Wool to help raise awareness on the 10th anniversary. And the task I was given was, could you design some wool rooms for us? Rooms that celebrate the beauty of wool, that use as much wool as possible to create a living space and make it something that we can photograph and then share through our global efforts to raise awareness about the benefits of wool. Sure, I said. Shall we roll it so that we can roll it easily back in? And keep
These are important tips of Sarah's. You're ripping your house apart for a photo shoot. Here are sneaky ways to save time and put it back together again.
And now that I have the full support of my spouse, and if you want to talk about unusual, we'll move on to the unboxing portion of the video. The goal of the Campaign for Wool is to celebrate wool in every form, in every product that wool can translate to. And I'm about to show you something that I don't think you would ever imagine would translate to wool. Today, we have a very special guest. So this is my first try at one of those unboxing videos that are all the rage on the internet. How am I doing so far? Okay, how do you get this out? Gently, okay. In the department of the unique and artisanal, check it out. What we have here is a bust of His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, entirely made of felted wool. Look at this, look at the detail. Can you believe I'm kind of standing right here? Hello, Your Royal Highness. I would curtsy and bow, but it's kind of hard while holding you. What's incredible is every single part of this, except for the plinth it's sitting on, is made of wool. right down to the eyes, the eyebrows, the hair. Look at the suit. So this is one part of what we are creating for this shoot. And then we'll move on to my favorite hobby next, vacuuming. We used all Canadian wool to create 3 rugs. And what's unique about that is that Canada doesn't produce wool rugs. So we took Canadian wool and shipped it to India. I collaborated with Creative Matters, which is a rug design studio, does beautiful custom work located in Toronto. And together we joined forces and created 3 unique visions. Ooh, bam.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now let's unwrap that. I have not seen any of these live yet. This is exciting. So this was inspired by macrame, and the idea was to celebrate the natural undyed, oh my goodness, this is so fun!
Wow.
The natural undyed material. Can you believe how soft this is? For the first rug, I decided that I wanted to celebrate the natural material in its natural state. So often when we're making a rug, we dye it, we do things to interpret the wool and make it suit our bright creative vision. But I liked the idea that we would take the wool and do nothing to it, that we would take it in its light, soft, creamy tone, and then we would create a rug that would celebrate the texture. Okay, so I wanted this to be super groovy. So my idea was I've got a pair of swivel chairs and some seriously groovy side tables. Oh, you know what I didn't think? I need to make sure the bottoms of these are clean. So I think I should wipe them.
It's always good to have a clean bottom.
I knew you'd say that. So tomorrow we have pillows coming. Today, look, these are our pillows. We took a throw and we made these fringed pillows. How fun is that? This entire room is about wool and texture and fun and natural materials. We need an overall of the room, and then we're gonna need some details, and then we need textures of the rugs. I have a shot list, and we can shoot this whenever you want.
Okay.
All right, how's that? Is that looking, do I need to do any more?
It's looking good.
Push it back in. Ba. Is that where he was?
Yes, he was tucked. Someone put baby in the corner.
I just wanted to create a rug that would be about nothing other than the origin of the rug. So we call this origin because this is about celebrating the material as it comes, from where it comes, and then creating something that speaks quietly but beautifully and texturally in the celebration of wool. What was the inspiration for this? I started thinking about macrame, not with color, just all cream, looking at the stitches and the knots and how we could create something underfoot, something that you would normally consider being on the wall or a basket hanger for a plant. That retro macrame is having such a huge comeback now, and I wanted to create a rug inspired by that. Look at this. It is soft and squishy, and everything about this rug is happy and playful. It is something that doesn't take itself too seriously. So for all of the surrounding elements for this rug and this room, I look to things that are not too serious. I've got swivel rattan basket chairs. You may recognize these chairs because we have the exact same ones at the cottage, and I found them as vintage finds. And I just thought, if you're gonna have a rug that's fun, everything about it needs to be fun. Look at these side tables. They're made of travertine. They have a triangular form, then there's a ball, we've got a glass top on them. Atop these tables are gorgeous lamps. Oh, these are new production lamps They are absolutely beautiful, and everything in this room, I want you to feel when you're watching it that you want to touch it, that you just want to squish it all, that you want to touch it, you want to know how it feels, because everything about this room is a texture story. To make the pillows, we used a throw and kept the fringe. So we have this shaggy fringe edge down both sides. We've got boucle wool on the seat cushions. We've got a big check, an oversized, almost like a picnic check on some accent pillows. We have some fabulous sheep that have traveled all the way from Europe to be part of this shoot. And this is it. So the Origin rug room is all about texture, texture, texture. For the second rug, I really wanted to think about where sheep graze and live and the natural landscape. So we created our Highlands rug. This has this soft kind of palette that runs from the sky all the way through the hills and the grasses, the trees and the meadows. And yes, you will look at this and you will instantly think, oh, well, Sarah, of course, look, it has all your favorite colors. And you'd be absolutely right. The next part about each one of these rooms was pairing the rug with additional elements, so upholstery all done in 100% natural wool. Look at this chair, isn't this fun? This chair is a patchwork of 3 different fabrics, some from Harris tweed, some from Moon, and we've combined them all together. The houndstooth is on the inside back, the arms and the seat. You'll see we have a really fun plaid that wraps around the back, and then to accent it all and to call out the fun lines of this chair now that it's done in different patterns is a solid blue. I find that if you use an accent piping, it just gives it a little snap. It highlights the lines and it gives it a beautiful, tailored, finished look. And then I thought, what could we do that's fun with wool? So our seamstress made these wool balls for us. Look at these. I think they are super fun. I had them made in 3 different sizes, 10, 12, and 14 inches, using the fabric that was left over from the chair. And you may be looking at this and thinking this was all super well planned out in advance. Well, you know what? It wasn't. I had 2 yards each of the solid, the houndstooth, and the plaid. And when the time came, I realized I wanted to upholster a chair and I didn't have enough of any one fabric to do the entire chair. So that's how we decided to do the combo on the chair. But then I wanted more. I knew that the chair was too small for a cushion to go on it. It doesn't need a little accent pillow. So that's where the idea of these wool balls came in. So this is our finished product. It all grows out of our Highlands rug, and we have our patron just there on a pedestal in the background as part of this overall vignette. You know I love the natural landscape here at Starlight Farm, so here's a fun fact. This rug has been designed based on a photo I snapped on my cell phone right here at the farm. So this is a lesson to never underestimate the power of your creative vision and what a photo you capture might become. This rug is a tribute to Canadian wool, created thanks to sheep raised on the Canadian landscape and inspired by a photograph of the place in Canada I love most. And now, time to meet the guests of honor. The Shetland Islands are the northernmost part of Scotland. It's a rugged, harsh environment that has made Shetland sheep a hardy breed. Shetland sheep were first brought to Canada in 1980, and these sheep that I'm hanging with are the direct descendants of that original flock. Now we move on to the third room of the day. We've been outside with the sheep. Oh, so pretty. The idea for this entire room grew out of a photograph. Not just any photograph, a photograph that I found that was taken at the Hampton Court Palace Garden Show. And so knowing that His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, is such a huge gardener, I wanted something in this project to relate to that. So we started with an image of a garden, we rasterized it, we interpreted it, and then we had it created in a flat wool construction that almost has a braided technique to it. It's so juicy and yummy. And then the bed has all of these more intense colors on it. So we've got this juicy, it's like a fern green, really a spring green, new shoots, and then you get the fun, playful colors in the rug. And we went through a lot of color combinations to make it just right. And some of you may remember this part, where we narrowed it down to the final 2. Way back, you have to think way back when I asked you to vote, and I asked people on my social media to vote and choose which color palette they liked best. And the winner was, ta-da, the rug I'm standing on now. So we have a few finishing touches still to do here. We don't have any lamps, we don't have any accessories, and then we're gonna make this the guest room. Don't tell our seamstress, but I had to cut them out of the drapes to make them long enough, because originally they weren't going to be hung on this window, so the drapes are looking like my pants. Short jeans are good, short drapes, not so much. Okay, last rug in this series, last rug, last room. So the idea here was to create a wool bedroom. We have a wool headboard, and yes, you may recognize this. This is the guest room at Starlight Farm, which got a little makeover for this shoot. So we took the existing wool headboard, we added a pair of chairs covered in Harris tweed, and it is a soft, greeny gray fabric. These are vintage chairs that I'd had in our storage for ages, and they were just waiting to find the perfect place to land, and this is it, definitely. Then we did drapery panels, and the drapery panels are an oatmeal wool fabric. It's so soft and quiet feeling. And when I think about what I want a guest room to be, I want it to be quiet. I want it to be cozy. I want it to be soft and relaxing, but at the same time, I want it to be rejuvenating. So I decided this room could get some kicks of color. So we've added a, what can I call this? This is spring shoot green. The green bands that go down each side of these drapery panels just add that bit of zing and that bit of energy. So if you're thinking about it and you're wondering, how do I take a regular fabric, a plain fabric, no pattern, and how do I jazz it up? How do I make it feel more impactful in the room? Consider putting a band down each side. I like it both on the leading edge and on the outside edge. And I'd say the band we put was probably about 9 inches wide on either side. You can tailor this to be whatever width you want, but this is nice because one width of fabric that we used, so we had one width, we only had one width of the green fabric. That's all I was given, and I had to think, how can I stretch this? How can I make it look as amazing as possible? So we were able to get both the pillow that's on the bed. Please note the ball fringe that is on this bright green pillow, because that just makes it fun. And if you can't have fun when you're redecorating, then why bother? And then we took the remaining fabric, one width of fabric, and we sliced it into 4. And that is what gave us the inside and the outside edge on our drapery panels. What else did I do in this room? That's about it. This was a simple fix. We've got a wool blanket that comes from Highlands, which is located in the eastern part of Canada. So we have a Canadian wool blanket. The bed is dressed, you can't see it, but there is a comforter that is made of Shetland wool. Can you imagine that? Keeping cozy at night under a blanket, a comforter. So it's stuffed like a duvet, but it's stuffed with Shetland wool, and the pillows are also made of Shetland wool. And that, in summary, is 3 rooms, 3 rugs, all inspired by the beauty of natural wool. What do you think? Do you like them? Do you have a favorite rug? I would love to know. I'm always interested to hear what resonates with you. Which one do you like best? Is it the Highlands rug, which represents the landscape? Is it the Hampton rug, which is about the beauty and the energy of the garden? Or is it the Origin rug, which is founded in the natural materials? Vote below in the comments. Tell me what you think. I'd love to know. Hopefully the byproduct of today's photo shoot will be that all of this effort will help to raise awareness about the benefits of wool, about the natural, renewable, biodegradable benefits of using this fabulous natural resource. So after all of the effort, and this is a project that's taken nearly a year to bring to life, look at this! We made it into Architectural Digest. And now that we're done taking all our photographs, it's time to put our house back together. That is a day in the life of a photo shoot. And now it's late, it's dark, we're a little tired, and we're just gonna make some dinner. Like I always say, no 2 days in my design life are ever the same. Want to see what happens next in our design life? Well, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a thing. And while you're at it, why don't you tell some friends to follow along. Cheers. Thanks for joining me.